Hi, I'm Philip Pilkington. I'm just doing a shoot at the moment in my sort of creator space, see? And I've got the camera down here. So, this is what I'm shooting. I'm shooting these trainers at the moment, and sort of got a concept in mind of what I'm working on. So I'm just showing you guys what I've got going on, because this is nothing set up yet. So you can see that there's trainers on the floor. I've had to mount the camera very low to the floor, but I still needed a tripod to do that. I tried setting it up not on a tripod. I tried setting it up just on a low-lying bag, but because I might have to do a focus stack, when you change the focus, the camera's going to shift. So I just went right against that. I knew it wasn't going to work. So it took a bit of time to set up the tripod like this. I have got a normal tripod head, but that's like an Arca Swiss head. So I had to change my tripod head just to kind of so I can get it mounted like that. But you can see what's going on. So these trainers, they're kind of like these sort of collaboration trainers between Puma and the Mercedes F1 team, AMG. So I've got a concept in mind, which is these trainers are going to be on like a motor circuit, but also as if the trainers are traveling fast, as if like a substitute car. So it's just a concept that I'm working on. But the laces are going to be sticking out as if the train's moving fast and laces are being pushed back by the wind. So this is the start of it. I just wanted to show you guys it now, because it's obviously going to keep progressing as it goes. The shot at the moment, so it's not finished, but you know, it's looking okay, looking not bad. I'm going to show you what's going on to get there. So I've got the one light there, that is a dado light, it's tungsten, constant light. All this shoot is constant light. Yeah, so I've got my dado lights. It's I think it's DHL4 kit. But anyway, it's lighting up the side. So it's the main light really. You know, it's lighting up that bit there. And I've got that light there, which is also it's a bi-colour. I've got it on the tungsten colour temperature. That is a Nanlite. Let's look. Nanlite FS300B. So that's obviously looking down on all this, so there's a bit of a top light. I've got these are a dado light stream little mirror set. It's like a little kit. Now, one thing that I can't even figure out is why are they so expensive? I mean, there's small mirrors with a mount on the back, and a very stiff kind of wire. I'll show you that. So yeah, and it's got a thread on it. And the thread I've just threaded it into a super clamp. Obviously, I mount it on the tripod here. I've got another one over there, so that's mounted on the auto pole. And the auto poles are really good. This one is a gravity one, but I've got a few auto poles. Yeah, this one is Manfrotto. This one is gravity. So the gravity ones are basically half price of Manfrotto. They do a pretty good job, so I'm happy with them. But I wanted to get both just so I can compare and see which one is better and which one's not. But they're both pretty similar. But no, they're really good. They're good to use in a small space like what we're in now. But yeah, back to these dado light streams. This wire is very stiff, so these are they're difficult to use really. But I like them. I like the whole concept of them. So you don't have to use light; you can use mirrors instead. But they're really expensive, and it really annoys me because you'd think they'd be far cheaper for what they are. So I've introduced this now. So this is the diffusion panel. Light was a bit harsh on the side of the trainers, and I just wanted to, I just tried it out to be fair. I tried it to see what it looked like, and then it's like, yeah, I prefer it like this. You can see there, what's holding it in place is That's a magic arm, a Manfrotto magic arm with two super clamps on each side to hold it in place. The laces now, all the laces are being held up. I did find it more difficult to hold the laces up than I thought. I have seen other people do it, and one thing that other people do is they have like a boom arm to come out of something like a C-stand. I've got C-stands, but I just thought if I put this arm over this set and use something like fishing wire to hang off these laces, it's just going to get in the way. So I didn't really want to suspend the laces that way. So I thought I'd show you the retouching process that went into this, because there's quite a lot of work done, mainly to the lace closest to the camera. So that's what I'm showing you. I'm not showing you the retouch on the other laces because they were quite simplistic, really. But yeah, you can see when I've sort of put this lace in place, but it's just a little bit too low. And I have got other shots of this lace where I have moved it just a little bit higher. So what I do is I cut out the lace shot that I want and I drop it into this layered file that I'm working on, and it's all about blending it in. So I'm using the layer mask and the brush tool. So it's not very complicated, but it just works well. And like many things in Photoshop, there's many ways to do the same thing. But you're just seeing how I've addressed this. So I'm cutting out parts of the lace that I actually like and want to use, and I'm going to be moving it up to match the height of the other part of the lace, because I think the first shot that I did of the lace where you saw where it's been raised higher, not all of the lace is in focus, because I did some of this handheld without focus stacking, and then most of the shots that I've done have been focus stacked, so you will notice the difference. There's some shots going to out of focus if you haven't focus stacked. But I knew that I had a decent base with the focus stacked image, but I just wanted to address the shape. Also, if I was doing it all over again, I'll probably iron the lace so it lay flatter. But when you've got a brand new pair of trainers, they look like they're totally fine, and it's only when you put them into a studio setting with lights that are quite contrasty you actually start to see issues. So I think, yeah, if I was doing it again, I would make sure that the lace was flatter before starting, because then you've got to fix it in Photoshop, and it did take quite a bit of work. You can see that the lace is catching some highlights, but because it's a black lace, it's not so bad to just kind of make it go a bit darker to blend it in. Also, like you can see here, I'm cutting out bits that I want and I'm moving them around to kind of help it blend in that way as well. So I've used, when I've done a cutout, if it's not exactly the right position, I've used the warp tool as well, just to give it a little nudge in the right direction. Again, it's not very complicated to use the warp tool. It's not like any sort of serious sort of in-depth Photoshop work that only the experts do. This is sort of stuff that most people would do, so it's not too technical. But I think sometimes it's worth going into detail to making sure that the shot is right, and that's what I've had to do on this, like I say, just on this one lace. So it's always part of the plan to cut out part of the lace to then cover these kind of clips, these pegs. So yeah, you can see it's cut it out, a bit that look good, and it's just about blending it in to cover the bits that you don't want, and using the warp tool again. Yeah, so I've kind of flattened all those layers to do with that lace, so the work that I've done, created a new layer, and it's just a black layer. And I'm blending it in just those to address those highlights, to try and make sure it's more of an even lace look. So you can see the shape's still not quite right. There's an area that kind of just goes a bit too high. So yeah, I'll cut that bit out, warp tool to change the shape. So when I took the shot, I purposely didn't have the product in the center of frame, and I knew that I was going to address the canvas size once I'd done the work in Photoshop. So you can see it's easy enough just to add black to the background. And yeah, I've created a new layer there's some areas I wanted just a bit brighter. So the new layer is brighter, and now I've got to blend in the bits that I don't want to go too bright. So when I was doing the lighting, I did notice this at the time, and there's just part of the shot that's just catching light just too much. So I'm doing a cutout to make that area darker, but then once again I'll blend it in, but I don't want the logo to go dark. So I have to address that. I'll use the masking tool to reveal the logo and keep the tongue area looking dark. But it's all about subtlety when you use Photoshop. So it's just about not going too far when you make these changes. So I made a new layer which I partially desaturated by around 60%. It's because again, you want to be subtle. You don't want to do too much desaturation, but it's good for a shot like this because there's black, there's white, there's greys, and then there's only one color, which is that cyan color. So it's just to give it a cleaner look in those areas that aren't supposed to have any color. So I had a look at the dust and scratches tool to address some of these marks on the floor, and sometimes that tool, it goes too far, even if you try and be subtle. So sometimes it is best just to do things manually. If you care about the quality, which I do, then I'll just do it the way I want it manually. As you can see, I'm just cleaning up the floor. So what I've done there is I've selected the colour of the floor, created a new layer. I'm going to use it to sort of partially mask the floor. Again, you have to be subtle, so you don't want to do it too much. So I do reduce the opacity. I've gone down to in the 40% sort of mark, which it's enough to reveal some of the imperfections in the floor to help with realism. You don't want it to look too fake. So yeah, I'm making a sort of a vignette now. Again, it's just to help frame the product because the floor is quite bright. So again, you don't want to be distracted. You want to keep the viewer focused in the areas where you want them to be focused. So that's what the vignette is good for. And so I've kind of squashed all those layers together to make a new layer, and then I've made a new layer on top of that, which I've used motion blur, and that is just to help the concept of the shot, which is these trainers are looking like they're moving fast. So that's why I think it's worth trying to use the motion blur tool on this shot. So yeah, you don't want the whole shot to look like it's all got motion blur. So you do the motion blur, and then you reveal bits that you want to keep. That is the final image. So I hope that you like seeing that and how this image is made. Hopefully you can put these sort of techniques into practice in your own work, and if you do, let me know, and it'd be good to see them. But if you like this video, give the video a like on YouTube, add a comment, maybe even subscribe. But definitely check out my other YouTube videos, because there's more information there that you might enjoy. But yeah, thank you for watching, and until the next video.